Page 29, Variations on a Theme by Haydn. Just briefly, a theme and variations. It's a type of arrangement of music. It's like prelude or sonata or etude or whatever, symphony. Well, a theme and variations, it's a form. A theme is a melody. So in a theme and variations, you first present the melody or the theme, and that's what we have here, the theme. And then you provide variations of that, one after another. It could be any number, it's up to you. And sometimes they get really wild and crazy. You wonder, how do you relate this variation to that theme? Because it's like they're nothing alike. But somehow they will be alike. A chord structure or chord sequences or something that will tie them together in the brain of the person who did it. Some variations I like very much and some I don't. You can look up theme and variations on a theme by Haydn by Brahms. Brahms wrote it, but the melody it's based on is by Haydn. Look it up and listen to them if you want, but I think you're going to find some of the variations are a little out there. It's like, what? However, we don't worry so much about variations here. We don't have any. We just have the theme. So I'll go through the process. Let's see what we get here. It's 2 lines long with a repeat sign, but there's 2 lines of music to learn. I think you'll find that both lines are very similar. The clef signs are treble and bass clef. The key signature's in 2 flats. We are in the key of B flat major, so make sure you're doing the scales. B flat major and G minor, 1 octave up and down. It's in 2/4 time, but if you look at this, it looks a little messy because it's got 8th notes and 16th notes and dotted 8th notes and yuck. So we'll just take it slow and easy and break it down and see what we can do with it. I have some fingering suggestions because, again, I like to try and finger everything connected if I can. At the beginning, they want 2nd finger on the D here, and that's going to put us in this position to start. Remember the E flat, it's in the key signature. So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. And then just cross over. And I suggest you stay here. Use thumb again for the 4th measure. Here, not 2nd finger. Second, because if I do this, they want 2nd finger again. I don't want to do that. I want to connect it. So I'm going to leave the thumb on the C. So it's in the 3rd measure, it's here. I'm crossing over, I'm staying here, thumb still on C. 1 and 2, and then scrunch up 3. I'm not sure why we want to do this. You could say it's a sequence. I want to finger them the same. But when you're dealing with thirds like this, broken thirds, because this is a third, every other note, there's a much better fingering than that. We would use that, not this. The fingering here, I'm just going to stay here and use 3rd on the E flat. Then scrunch up 4. And then 2. And then I'll do it again. Now, in the 2nd line, the last 2 measures, now I can go ahead and stay there, 4th finger. Here. I want to connect this. If you don't want to be up in here, you got to use 2nd finger. And that's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a hard, because to get there, you can't get there very well. Here, that's what you basically got to do. So if you can, go ahead and put thumb on the E flat. Here. In the left hand, again, you can use thumb here because they're both black keys. And then you can come out here if you want. I'm going to use 3-1. I want to connect them. And then they want a 1-2. Yeah, but I'm connecting them. So start again with the 3rd measure. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and rest. And then back up and do it again. Okay. Then we put the hands together. Oh, it's okay if you say so. It says 1 E and. Again, I want to connect everything if I can. Last measure, the first line. I should lift up here when I played that. I didn't, but I should have. 1 and 2. So I put the hands together, and then I go back over it a few hundred times or whatever, and I slowly work out the hesitations. And once I can play it through, no hesitations, then I'll add in the articulation. Here we have, it's pretty connected. You can lift up for the phrases if you can figure out where they are. Yeah, in my mind, it's all pretty much one phrase all the way across until you get to the end of the first line on the 16th note. It's a pickup to the next phrase. So the last two measures of the first line. Take a breath. And then you do it again. The second line I would connect it all. Just my opinion. You don't have to. You want to lift up every couple of measures or whatever. It's interpretation. As far as the dynamics go, the first line is soft. The second line is loud. That's the melody. It's the right hand. This has to be very soft, very light. At the end of the first line, you go up each one a little louder. Now you're loud in the right hand. About a moderately soft or moderately loud in the left hand. And then when you get down to the end, you come down. As far as the speed goes, andante, a nice leisure stroll. Remember, we're not necessarily talking about the speed of the beat. It's what's in the music. How many 16th notes and stuff we got going on here. We don't want that to sound rushed. These quarter notes sound slow, but we have eighth notes going on, so we'll keep it going. Doing it, you don't need to copy me. Don't listen to recordings of different people playing it, not just one. Listen to different ones, you'll get ideas. Between the stabs in the first measure, they have the P and then the sostenuto. Sostenuto means sustain, or what's it all connected, all legato and not fast. Legato and take your time. It's interpretation, it's a feeling. Remember the natural accents, 1, 2, 1, 2. But when you divide beats up like this, each beat gets a little bit. So I go 1, 2, 1, 2. 1. Feel these. I'm exaggerating them so you can hear them better, but just feel these. Anyway, once you can play this okay, at least slowly and no interruptions, no hesitations. Interruptions too, I guess. Then come back to the video. Let's play it together very slowly and check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the louds and softs, just the notes and the rhythms. And I'm going to do the repeat. So I'll give us 2 counts because there's 2 beats in a measure. I'll put the metronome on eighth notes. It's beating eighth notes here. So at the beginning it's that, 1 and 1 and 2. We're going to go that slow. Because that 16th notes are twice that fast. So yeah, let's try that. Ready and go and 1 and 2 and depressed.